Could your Iraqi dinar be worth more in 2025? Breaking down the hype and facts. Welcome back to my channel. Iraqi Dinar RV. Imagine discovering that a handful of old Iraqi dinar bills tucked away in a drawer might suddenly be worth thousands of dollars. Sounds too good to be true, right? Yet, as 2025 unfolds, the financial world is once again buzzing with speculation about the Iraqi dinar's potential revaluation and the idea of a mysterious contract rate that could transform modest investments into large profits. Whether you're holding on to IQD or simply curious about the headlines, this article breaks down what's really going on with the dinar, what a contract rate actually means, and whether now is the time to act or wait. Let's walk through it in plain language, so anyone, from first-timers to seasoned currency holders, can make sense of it all. What is the Iraqi dinar, IQD? The Iraqi dinar, IQD, is the official currency of Iraq. For many years, it has had one of the weakest exchange rates in the global market. As of now, 1,000 dinars is worth less than $1. This has led some to call it pennies in disguise, a low-value currency with high hopes of appreciation. For more than a decade, rumors have circulated about a possible revaluation, RV, of the dinar. In essence, this would mean a significant upward change in its exchange rate, making each dinar more valuable against foreign currencies like the US dollar. Speculation around 2020 is growing, and many investors are asking, is this finally the year the dinar gains real value? What is a contract rate? The term contract rate is often thrown around in investment circles, but what does it actually mean? A contract rate refers to a special, agreed-upon exchange value offered to certain institutions, governments, or select groups, usually under specific terms or agreements. It's like a private deal, with a more favorable rate than what the public sees on the open market. Let's say the general exchange rate for the IQD is 0.76 cents to the dollar. A rumored contract rate could be something like $1 or even more per dinar, but this would likely only apply under exclusive arrangements, not for every individual walking into a bank. In 2020, more and more sources on forums, YouTube channels, and Telegram groups are pointing to potential contract rates that could reward early dinar holders handsomely. However, no official confirmation has been made, and this is where things can get confusing or risky. The Delete the Zeros plan. Explained. A commonly misunderstood aspect of Iraq's currency reform is the Delete the Zeros project. This plan involves removing 3 zeros from larger banknotes. So instead of having a 25,000 IQD note, for example, you'd have a 25 IQD note. At first glance, this may seem like a revaluation. Fewer digits must mean more value, right? Not necessarily. This kind of redenomination is often aimed at simplifying cash transactions and making accounting easier, especially in inflation-prone countries. It doesn't automatically raise the purchasing power of the currency. In other words, your 25,000 IQD might still only be worth around $19 USD unless there's an accompanying change in the exchange rate. Many Iraqi citizens have felt misled by these reforms, expecting financial improvement when the reality is often more symbolic than profitable. Is a revaluation to $300 possible? Now let's explore the scenario being discussed widely online. What if the dinar jumps to a value of $300 per note? If true, someone holding 10,000 IQD could theoretically exchange it for $30,000 USD. This kind of dramatic rise sounds life-changing, and it's exactly why so many people are paying attention. From average households to global investors, the promise of buying low and cashing out high is tempting. However, it's important to understand this. Such rates are purely speculative right now. They have not been confirmed by any official financial body, and in many cases may only apply to governments or high-level institutions. Why the U.S. Treasury's involvement matters. One major factor impacting the Iraqi dinar's trajectory is the role of the U.S. Treasury. Recently, the U.S. has tightened controls on dollar transfers into Iraq. Why? Because U.S. dollars were reportedly being leaked to sanctioned nations like Iran and Syria, prompting Washington to demand stricter financial oversight. As long as these restrictions are in place, Iraq's access to foreign reserves and international liquidity remains limited. This, in turn, dampens confidence in the dinar and makes any revaluation less likely unless there are major improvements in transparency and anti-corruption efforts. What could actually boost the dinar's value? Let's shift from rumor to reality. What real-world developments could cause the dinar's value to rise? 1. Oil revenues. Iraq is one of the world's leading oil producers. If global oil prices stay high in 2025, Iraq's economy could see a significant boost through increased foreign reserves. 2. Foreign investment. Partnerships with international companies, infrastructure development, and economic cooperation can help build long-term stability. 3. Banking reform. Improvements in digital infrastructure, regulatory compliance, and international banking standards would enhance global trust in Iraq's financial system. 4. Political stability. Perhaps the most critical factor, political unrest and public dissatisfaction are red flags to foreign investors. A stable government that delivers on its promises would send positive signals to the market. The role of public sentiment. Frustration among Iraqi citizens is growing. Many are disillusioned by broken promises of reform, and protests continue to erupt in various parts of the country. Political instability directly impacts investor confidence. While reforms may be in discussion, they won't hold much weight unless the public begins to trust their leadership again. Investors watch more than charts. They watch headlines, sentiment, and street-level tensions. A peaceful Iraq could unlock potential. A divided one could close doors. Don't forget about taxes. If you do profit from holding IQD, don't forget the tax implications. In the United States, for example, profits from foreign currency trades may be subject to capital gains tax. If you bought 1 million IQD for $800 and sold it for $8,200, the $7,400 gain is potentially taxable. Consult with a qualified accountant or financial advisor who understands currency trading laws in your country. Don't let a surprise tax bill ruin your windfall. Can you exchange IQD at any bank? Unfortunately, no. Most major U.S. banks and many international ones still don't recognize the Iraqi dinar as a tradable currency on the open Forex market. That means cashing out can be tricky and often requires working with specialized dealers or brokers. Be wary of scams. Many groups are offering fake contract rates or promising high returns with zero risk. Always verify sources and never invest more than you're willing to lose. What should IQD holders be watching in 2020? If you're holding dinar, keep an eye on news from the Central Bank of Iraq. Any hint of redenomination or rate adjustment could be huge. Oil price trends. Higher prices mean stronger national reserves. Announcements from the U.S. Treasury. Lifting restrictions could indicate better trust in Iraq's system. Investor communities and financial updates. Stay connected, but avoid getting swept up in hype. Final thoughts. Currency investing is not a guaranteed path to riches. While 2025 may bring significant changes for the Iraqi dinar, there are no certainties. A revaluation could happen, or it could be delayed for years. The key to navigating this space is education. Know what you're investing in. Understand the risks. Watch for real economic shifts rather than relying on unconfirmed rumors. Hope can be powerful, but it's wisdom and patience that lead to smart financial decisions. Stay informed, stay cautious, and if something big does happen in 2025, you'll be ready, not surprised. Disclaimer: this article is intended for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. The foreign exchange market is inherently risky and prone to misinformation. Consult with qualified professionals before making any investment decision. Iraqi Dinar RV is not liable for any losses or damages resulting from the use or reliance on this content.